This podcast is an invitation to feel and experience the souls of famous old Hollywood homes and to have an in-depth journey to the areas where they're located through interviews with longtime residents. Either you're a fan of old Hollywood in Los Angeles, planning to have a vacation, or, an even bigger step, considering a certain area for your future home. This is your opportunity to receive valuable information and insightful advice you won't find anywhere else.
Hello, and welcome to my podcast. Are you in the mood for California? Today, we'll explore and feel Universal Studios, followed by an interview with magnificent and inspiring Nina Parker, who will share with us what it feels like to move to Los Angeles to pursue a career in the entertainment industry.
I have to say, even to this day, and I've been in LA for 15 years now, I still get very giddy driving through Beverly Hills and seeing the palm trees.
Aww.
And, I still am very grateful that I live in this city. I love LA. They say after 10 years, you can consider yourself an official resident. So, this is my home, and it's very different from any other place. And, LA has a magic about it. Dreams come true here. And it has a little bit of everything. I think a lot of people think it's just what you see on TV, but there are, wonderful mom and pop shops. There's cool little cafes by the beach. There's thrift stores. There's real community here. And so, my hope is that people, once they watch these fun and glitzy shows, understand there's a real community here in Los Angeles that I don't think gets appreciated enough.
Masha Korpacheva is a California-based realtor and a member of the National Association of Realtors in Los Angeles. She's an advocate for selling and buying homes with soul and practicing mindfulness in real estate. With master's degrees in spiritual psychology and linguistics, Masha brings all of her skills to work with her clients. An intuit and empath, she has touched many lives with her outstanding ability to see beyond the visible and helping to come to better understanding of issues and their resolutions. An adventurous world traveler, from climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania to exploring the Galapagos Islands, Masha has a particular passion for the City of Angels. Having landed in this paradise and adopted it as her home, she's been sharing old Hollywood stories since 2007. In the mood for California, feel the soul of old Hollywood.
And now, are you ready to feel the soul of Universal Studios? Among the illustrious accomplishments of Carl Laemmle, two stand out with unparalleled significance: establishing Universal Studios and creating Universal City, which became the first movie lot and popular tourist attraction in the San Fernando Valley over a century ago. Born in a quaint German town, in 1867, young Carl had dreams that stretched far beyond the borders of his homeland. In 1884, with hope in his heart and determination in his soul, Carl set sail for the distant shores of the United States, seeking new opportunities and adventures. Little did he know that his journey would lead him to become a pioneer in the motion picture industry. However, it wasn't until Carl reached the age of 40 that he dipped his toes into the world of cinema. Once he did, he found himself facing a formidable adversary, none other than Thomas Edison himself. The great inventor was fiercely trying to control every aspect of the budding film industry through his patented motion picture equipment. But Carl, with a fiery passion for his newfound calling, stood his ground against Edison's onslaught. Though the inventor sued him a staggering 289 times, Carl emerged victorious from every court battle. His triumphs did not merely secure his own place in the industry, but also inspired a daring migration of independent filmmakers from the restrictive clutches of New Jersey to the untamed lands of California, far away from Edison's grasp. In 1915, on a vast expanse of land overlooking the enchanting Cahuenga Pass, Carl Laemmle unveiled his crowning achievement, Universal Studios. What just a year prior was a 230-acre chicken farm purchased for $165,000 was now a bustling metropolis for making movies. The world's first film studio created specifically for production of feature-length films. But Carl's visionary mind didn't stop there. He had a brilliant idea that would change the course of cinematic history forever. He welcomed visitors from far and wide to witness the magic of silent movies coming to life before their very eyes. Charging a small fee, he offered the world's first Universal Studios tour, which would eventually evolve into the awe-inspiring theme park we know today. But Carl's true genius lay not only in his ability to see the present, but also to glimpse into the future. While others doubted the longevity of the film industry, Carl knew in his heart that it held boundless potential. He had witnessed the battles over Edison's patents, fought tirelessly to create Universal City, and now he understood that there was a bright future for cinema. Universal City flourished, drawing over 15,000 people from all corners of the globe to its grand opening on March 15th, 1915. This magnificent place was not just a movie lot. It was a thriving community with its own post office, hospital, fire department, school, zoo, and even a police department led by a remarkable woman named Laura Oakley. Beyond its cinematic allure, Universal City had an unexpected impact. It revealed the beauty of the San Fernando Valley to countless souls who had never set foot there before. Carl Laemmle had inadvertently put the valley on the map, and the ripples of his creation brought forth prosperity and joy to the land. As time marched on, Carl and his son, Carl Jr., achieved great success, but fate had other plans. In 1936, they lost control of Universal Studios. Yet, even in the face of adversity, Carl found a higher purpose to dedicate his energies to. As Nazi persecution darkened the horizon in Germany, Carl became a beacon of hope for those seeking refuge in the United States. He transformed from a Hollywood mogul known for nepotism to a compassionate savior, writing sponsorship affidavits, lobbying government officials, and providing financial support to those in need. In the midst of the Great Depression, Carl Laemmle went above and beyond to rescue people from the clutches of tyranny. Sadly, the chapter of Carl Laemmle's life came to a close as World War II engulfed the world in 1939. Nevertheless, his story continues to live on, and so does the tale of Universal Studios. Because in the end, it isn't just a place, it's a feeling of wonder, joy, and inspiration. It is a reminder that no matter how advanced technology becomes or how much the world changes, the human heart will always crave the magic of storytelling. And as long as there are dreamers and visionaries like Carl Laemmle, the spirit of Universal Studios will forever endure, lighting up the world with its heartfelt stories. And here we are. I am beyond excited to have Nina Parker here with me. Nina Parker is an American television journalist, television presenter, and a fashion designer. Parker co-hosts Nightly Pop on E, a late-night entertainment news show that debuted in 2018. Nina was raised in Sacramento, California. She received her bachelor's degree in broadcast and electronic communication arts from San Francisco State University. Nina began her entertainment career at TMZ in 2007. In 2011, she went on to work as an entertainment correspondent for The Insider. In 2015, she became the host for the Love and Hip Hop reunion shows and hosted for 4 years until 2020. She was hired as an inaugural co-host on E's Nightly Pop in 2018. On May 14, 2021, she released a self-titled clothing line for Macy's, the first plus-size brand by a Black designer released exclusively by the retailer. She was inspired to develop a line in 2019 due to her own frustration with the lack of fashionable options for plus-size women. Nina previously designed her own gowns for live from the red carpet event pre-shows, such as the 2020 Academy Awards. In collaboration with Reunited Clothing, Nina designed every item in the Nina Parker collection. New items debuted monthly in 2021 after the initial release. You can follow Nina on Instagram at the Nina Parker and at Nina Parker Collection. Nina will share with us what it was like to move to Los Angeles to pursue a career in the entertainment industry. Hello, Nina.
Hello.
Wow, what a treat to have you on my podcast. I'm so delighted.
I'm so excited to be here. So thank you for having me.
Anytime. So if you decide to come back, please let me know.
For sure.
So, Nina, please tell me, what was it like for you to move from the Bay Area to Los Angeles? What were the main differences that you noticed? And what would you say was the hardest for you to get used to?
Well, let me say this. I moved from the Bay and then I went to New York and then I came to LA, and I am a California native, and it's quite the shock to go from California to New York. So coming back, I was extremely grateful because I am a California girl. I love the East Coast, but outside of visiting, it can be rough on someone who is from California. So I had a whole new appreciation for California. And the funny thing is, I had never lived in LA. I have family here, but I grew up in Northern California. So I visited many times, but it's always different when you visit and when you live in a place. So I have to say, like, even to this day, and I've been in LA for 15 years now, I still get very giddy driving through Beverly Hills and seeing the palm trees. And, I still am very grateful that I live in this city. I love LA. They say after 10 years, you can consider yourself an official resident. So, this is my home, and it's very different from any other place. And, LA has a magic about it. Dreams come true here. And it has a little bit of everything. I think a lot of people think it's just what you see on TV, but there are, wonderful mom and pop shops. There's cool little cafes by the beach. There's thrift stores. There's real community here. And so, my hope is that people, once they watch these fun and glitzy shows, understand there's a real community here in Los Angeles that I don't think gets appreciated enough.
Right. And you know what, the way you're describing it, you are such a vibrant person. You're so positive, you're so warm. And I think your energy, even though you're from the Northern California, if you came to LA, it kind of like matched with the area, because I think this is what LA is about. It's vibrant and it's warm. And when you come here in order to give something to the city, when you offer something to the
Yeah.
city, then your dreams come true.
It's so true. And, I tell everybody everything is what you make it, whether we're talking about the city you live in, social media, a job, like everything is what you put into it. There are people who come here who only want to take, and then they only see the negative parts of the city. So I think I was really blessed when I first moved here. I had a couple of girlfriends who lived in Inglewood who are natives and who really showed me what I say is like real LA. Because I think there's a very big difference from Hollywood to LA. And they really showed me what LA was about, really cool parts of the city that you never saw on TV that really showed me a different part of what community meant. And so I was really indoctrinated into a really cool space because I was able to, my introduction into LA wasn't the Hollywood scene. It was, from natives who are very chill and they love their city. And so I was able to get that experience and the food experience through their eyes. And so I was really, really lucky to be able to kind of learn the city that way.
Right, right. And was there any challenge for you adjusting to living in LA, or it has been super easy?
No, I mean, there were challenges for sure. And while I had these friends who showed me the city, they had their own lives. So a lot of times I was on my own. And when I first moved here, I didn't have GPS. I had an old car with no GPS and, it wasn't prevalent in cars yet. This was like '07. So it wasn't in every car yet. And so I literally would have to get like a Thomas guide and figure out how to get around the city. And that was pretty insane. I definitely almost died a few times on the freeway.
Wow.
Figure out where to go. And my first job in LA was what was called the runner, which is like a peg below a PA. And I had to literally run around the city and get like tapes from cameramen and bring it back to the studio. And so it was timely and I didn't know where I was going. So, I was pretty stressed out my first couple of years here trying to navigate through the city. It's intimidating and people don't have a lot of patience on the road. So it really is one of those places where you kind of go from the frying pan into the fire and you do sink or swim. And for me, I'm a survivor. So I was like, all right, I got to figure out how to make this work. And so, even on my off days, I would learn the city and travel around and, ask people questions, how to get here, what's a shortcut there? Because I was like, this place is not going to take me under. I'm going to figure out how to navigate.
Yes, you belong here.
And now I have people asking me how to get places and I'm like, oh, just go this way, cut through the canyon. Now I know like all these, great ways to travel because I had to learn.
Yes. And so you are in the entertainment business and a lot of people do come to LA. They pursue a career in the entertainment business. And could you please tell me how your move to Los Angeles actually influenced your career?
Well, yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't have come to LA had it not been for my career. It became home because it was a necessity. Because I really did love the Bay Area. And if I could have done what I wanted to do there, I probably would have stayed. I'm so glad that I came though, because this really challenged me in ways that I didn't expect. And, entertainment industry is king in LA. And it was where I just knew I needed to be. It was where I felt like my spirit was calling me to go. And I just knew that if I wanted to make big moves, I was going to have to learn how to be a small fish in a big pond. I think a lot of people want to be that big fish in a small pond. But for me, it was always about learning how to navigate that big pond. And if I could navigate that, then I knew that I could make a big difference. And so for me, it was just about like, hey, this is where I have to go. This is the entertainment capital of the world. And it's necessary to be here.
Wow. My God, your metaphor, a small fish in a big pond. Like how you wanted to learn to navigate this big pond, to learn like the rules by which it operates. And it's incredible. There could not have been a better metaphor for Los Angeles and people trying to make it in the entertainment industry.
It's so true.
Wow. Okay. So what has been your experience working in the Valley at the Universal Studios? Would you say that it shaped your perception of this area of Los Angeles? And how would you describe this area to someone who has never been here?
I love the Valley. So there are a lot of people I know, the Valley is a lot of jokes for a lot of people in LA, but I personally love it. I think, it's the easiest place to navigate. There's a little bit more space, you can get a little bit more bang for your buck, and there's just so many hidden gems here. So, I've never been one to like discount areas. I think when people say, oh, I don't like this area or I don't like that area, I think there's something in each area that I love. Like I have great brunch spots in Los Feliz that I love, even though I don't go there a lot. Or downtown has some really cool restaurants that have just, developed. So there's always these areas where people will shut it down and be like, I don't go here. And I don't operate like that because I think there's beauty in every part of the city. You just have to find it. And for the Valley, I mean, it's just, there's a lot of entertainment here. I was filming at Universal Studios for 5 years. So I became really comfortable with the Valley, easy to navigate through. And also just, there's a community here as well. And there's so many cool spots to go to and just kind of, if you want to grab a bite to eat. I had to do a lot of business meetings in the Valley for lunches. And I really learned about the area a lot. And I just, I personally love it. And it's one of my favorite parts of LA.
Oh, very nice. So you did find your little island in this big pond where
Exactly.
you're comfortable. So
Exactly.
this is what navigation of the pond means. Like there are so many different little islands and isles and like
Yes.
different spots that you can, feel comfortable at. So you did
Exactly.
find it. Okay, very nice. Very nice. So I would like now to ask you to talk a little more about your journey in the entertainment business.
Sure.
From early beginnings to where you are now, what would you say were some of the challenges that you faced and how did you overcome them?
It's an ongoing thing. The entertainment industry, it's not like you get to one point and everything is easy. I think that's to be said for any career. I think, when you're young, you think, okay, once I get this title, everything I want, all my dreams will come true. What you don't understand is once your dream comes true, you still have to work. You still have to put in the work to keep your dream. And so, when I started out in LA, I just knew that I had the tenacity to be able to hold on and work hard. And this was something that I really wanted. And so when I did land an on-air hosting gig, that's really where getting the gig is kind of where the work begins, because you think it's an uphill battle to get a job. Keeping a job on TV is extremely difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Networks are fickle, audiences are fickle. You have one boss change, they'll want to cancel your show. Like it's very up and down. And it is kind of like the show Melrose Place. People are trying to stab you in the back. It's, you don't know who you can trust. And so it can be very lonely. It can be, really disheartening. And so I've dealt with kind of a little bit of all of that, but also in dealing with that, I've learned how to be able to be my authentic self. And what I find is that, the people who are supposed to find you and gravitate towards you end up doing that when you're authentically yourself. And so while you might not be right for every job, the ones that you are right for, they can see you because you've allowed yourself to really be who you're supposed to be. And I've been really blessed to be able to, work 15 years in this industry, be on national television shows every year and launch my clothing line and really feel seen by the right people. And the people who don't get it, they don't have to get it. And so I've long stopped trying to please everyone and just said, hey, I'll find my tribe and they'll find me and we'll rock out together. And that's kind of what's been happening.
Yes, very true. It's a very difficult path. I mean, no matter what business you choose, but entertainment is one of the hardest probably because there is also so much competition.
Yeah.
And you do have to be the best of the best. And you do have to be true to yourself because if you're not authentic to who you are, like who are you authentic to?
Yeah. And people can see, especially with social media now and so much access, I think people can read through, if someone isn't being authentic. It's pretty clear these days. I think you've probably at one point been on Instagram and been like, I can see right through this person, And so I think it's important to be able to be who you are because if people don't like it, then you could say, okay, that's fine. If people don't like a different version of you that you're pretending to be, then you're always going to be looking to change it to please them. And there's no way to do that. There's just no way to please everyone. And I think I learned that pretty early on in my career. And it was a tough lesson to learn. And I think you get to a point where you're bending in all these directions trying to please people. And then you realize that you're so uncomfortable trying to make other people comfortable. For what? And so, you start to learn to really grow in your own skin And in this industry these days, that's been rewarded. I think back in the day, everybody wanted a cookie cutter version. And now they're looking for that, distinctive, authentic voice. And so that's been a benefit to me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, beautiful. I can totally hear that. Yes. So you are obviously a very resilient person, and you did mention this a little while. So it must have definitely helped you in your career, but there must have been moments when you were facing setbacks or obstacles. So what helped you to really maintain your motivation and drive? Because it is so hard when you're, trying to achieve a certain goal and to find this motivation, to find this drive. So what helped you with that?
I have a really strong family that is very supportive of me. And I think I really learned how to lean on the people that I can trust. I, for a really long time, struggled because I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know how to ask for assistance or just, anything from anybody. I wanted to be able to do it on my own. What I realized my superpower was having people around me that I could trust, friends and family that I was close to that I could trust with. Sometimes it's just about venting. There's nothing they can do about the situation, but they can be an ear to listen. And then other times there's people who can help you with your workload or whatever. But you don't know what people can help you with until you speak up. So for me, kind of maintaining that resilience was being able to lean on the people that I love and I care about and being able to say, I'm human. I'm not having a good week and I need help. Or, being able to set boundaries and saying, hey, this is all I'm capable of right now. And healthy boundaries with people that you care about and saying, hey, I'm not available for this, or this is going to have to be a no for me, or I need to take care of myself this week. Those have been really important lessons to learn as I've progressed in this industry, is that if you don't set a boundary, no one will. And, people will take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, totally makes sense. Yes, yes. Well, as someone who has achieved success in the entertainment industry, what advice would you give to aspiring individuals looking to make their mark? How can they navigate the challenges and find their own path? What would be your suggestion?
I guess I'd reach back and say, make sure whatever you're doing is authentic to you. Like if you are looking to be in this industry, find a niche that speaks to you. If you love sports, gravitate towards a sports, network like ESPN. If it's, because it's like, if you want to do sports and you're working on a soap opera, these things don't mesh, and you're going to find yourself frustrated and feeling like you don't understand why things aren't working out for you. So I think it's important to say, what do I want to do? Why do I want to do it? Because there are a lot of people who are doing things in entertainment because they want to be famous, not because they really care about the craft or have any passion for what they're doing. So I think also it's like, why am I really doing this? What's the purpose of it? Do I want to inform people? Do I want to live my purpose? Or am I doing this because I just want to be seen? Because, if it's these frivolous kind of fleeting answers, like, I just want to be seen, I just want to make a lot of money, I want to be famous, there's not going to be a lot of security in that, because these are not things that can be guaranteed. And if that's rooted in your self-esteem, you're going to get crushed every time, because it's just, the thing that keeps me going is knowing that I have a purpose and knowing that I'm fulfilling it, whether I'm making money or not. And so I think it's being grounded, and also being able to say, like, people are going to say no. Not everybody's going to love my projects or ideas. Not everybody's going to love me. And I've got to be able to still find the strength to get up every day and still do what I love, because I love it, not because I'm looking for acceptance.
Right. Yes. Yes. Very true. So now that we've talked about authenticity and being able to find your voice and to find the answers to what and why, and once you have this circle of trust, with friends and family, the people that will continue supporting you so that you don't lose your motivation, what would you say that are some of the values and principles that have guided you throughout your career? And yes, how do these principles help you navigate the ever-evolving landscape of the entertainment business?
Listen, this can be a really grimy, cutthroat industry. It really can be. And I think you have to kind of decide who you want to be. I have known people who have stabbed their best friend in the back to get a role or, a gig. And it's worked for them. And they made the decision that they don't care if they have friends in the industry. They're going to do whatever they have to do to get on top. And then there are people who decide, that's not who they want to be. And for me, I know that I probably would be even further along had I made the decision to betray people or, do things like that, or make phone calls to grab a job from someone else. But I decided a really long time ago that whatever came to me, I wanted it to come because it was meant to be there, not because I took it from somebody else. And so I think we have to decide like what kind of people we want to be when we go to bed at night. And for some people, they don't care because having money or status is very important to them. And for me, I want to be able to say, I got this being a good person. And I think one of the reasons I've been able to have longevity in this business is because there are a lot of people who trust me. There are people who know I work hard. There are people who know that I have, morals and ethics when it comes to business. And at the end of the day, people want to do business with people they can trust. They want to be able to know that they can put something in your hands and know that you can finish the job and they can trust you with it. And I think that's really important because, moving in that way is so imperative to the relationships that you build. And ultimately, I think that gives you longevity. You may not get it as quickly as, other counterparts, but I think you stay in this business longer. Mm-hmm. And so, I think that moral character is really important to have. And, we're all human. We can all get distracted by the glitz and the glamour of this city, but staying grounded and remembering who you want to be is so important to the longevity of your career.
Right. Yeah, because it is your own moral character who you have to live with every day. Other people don't have to.
Yeah.
But then if you do kind of alter it in some way and make it not so attractive to yourself and kind of like shut down, it will be a very lonely place. And yes, maybe you'll make a lot of money, maybe you'll be very famous, but at the end of the day, it is you and yourself, who you have to face.
Yeah. And I think, I have definitely had misunderstandings with people or, maybe somebody felt a way and it's always been important to me to try to have like very clear communication so that people know where I'm coming from. Because look, none of us are going to be perfect, but I think, the goal is never perfection, but it is progress. And I think, as we progress and we grow, we do the best that we can to try to be the best people we can in an industry that sometimes wants us not to be.
Yes. Yeah, you have to stay true to yourself no matter what.
Yes, for sure.
Very, very true. So after all of your meetings and travels, plenty of those, you return to the comfort of your own home. What would you say your home means to you? What is the heart of your home?
I'm a homebody at heart, because I have to do so much for work. I travel to New York a lot for work. I'm filming, I'm creating for my clothing line. There's a lot of times where I'm outside and I'm, networking and meeting people, or I'm on a red carpet. And I really, a lot of times, I'm just thinking about getting back to my couch. I just, I just want to watch, put on a streaming movie and get a nice bowl of popcorn and sparkling water and like indulge and just have this sweet spot on my couch. I've really tried to make my place very zen and make it feel, I've had friends come over and I don't let a lot of people over to my home. So I would say I've been in my place now for 3 years and I've probably only had 3 or 4 friends in my house. I usually meet everybody everywhere because it's such a sanctuary of peace for me. There's such good energy here. I burn my sage and I pray here and I try to keep it as serene as possible. And outside of family members, I really don't let a lot of people in here because it's such a gem and place of comfort for me that I protect it at all costs because it really is, I've had friends come over and say, this feels like a hotel because it's just, I try to keep it in this just really great energy with candles burning. And for me, it's just such a place of refuge. And I think it's important that your house is not just a house, it's your home. And for me, when I'm traveling, the idea of coming home and just like, smelling something good when I walk through the door and, it being spick and span clean and having a nice plush couch is just like such a comfort to me, way more than like being at a fine restaurant. Like my house gives me so much peace. And so that's what I look forward to when I'm not in it, is to getting back to it.
Wow, beautiful. Well, that's why you have so much vibrant energy, because you have a place where you rejuvenate, where
Yes.
you fill yourself up with what you need for your soul, so that you can be all fresh and just ready to face the world in you.
Yes. Absolutely.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I have a few blitz questions about
Sure.
Los Angeles or the Valley, whatever you would like to talk about.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite store?
Favorite store? I probably have, it's probably changed over the years. I'm trying to think of what would be my favorite store. Where do I love to go? I mean, right now it's Macy's to find the Nina Parker collection, but
That's right.
I guess that's where I would like to go. But I really like going up and down Ventura Boulevard, to be honest. Like, there's so many cool little like clothing boutiques and furniture boutiques. And so just kind of walking up and down, there's beauty bars and all kinds of places to, get candles. So that's always fun for me, is to kind of go up and down Ventura, starting at Laurel Canyon and just kind of going down the little shops and, sometimes exploring or doing like the farmer's market on Sunday. So those are always like fun little places to shop for me.
Uh-huh. Very nice. What about your favorite coffee place?
Well, I am a huge coffee drinker. So, I do like Alfred coffee, even though it's a little pricey, but it is like a cute little vibe because it's on this little side street and you can kind of people watch. And so I do enjoy going over there and getting coffee. But I have to say, I invested in an espresso machine and I make the best coffee at my house. So I rarely buy coffee out now.
Okay, okay. Now that's the secret.
Yes.
That's why you don't invite that many people, because
Exactly.
you don't want to drink all of your coffee.
Exactly.
So, what is your favorite restaurant?
I have a couple. I would say in the Valley, I love going to Taisho Sushi. Gives you kind of a West Hollywood feel without having to go really far. Like, if you're in the Valley, Taisho is it's a fun vibe. They have good music. You go there and you feel like you're in the heart of Hollywood, and you're not. You're in the Valley. And so it's fun, and it's a good place to go out with a quick commute. But if I'm out like over the hill and I'm in Beverly Hills, I really love going to Lavo. That's probably my favorite restaurant right now, because the food is just amazing, great drinks and a good vibe.
Very nice. Lavo and Taisho sushi. Beautiful. And let's say if you wanted to see the sunset, where would you go?
Well, I probably would hit a rooftop. So there's a couple of I love a good rooftop. So probably the Waldorf has a really fun, beautiful, like almost 360 rooftop. And that it's so, so beautiful. Soho House in West Hollywood gives you a great view of the sunset as well. And I also love the roof on the Edition Hotel. You get a really good view of the sunset there as well.
Very nice. Beautiful. So, rooftops of Los Angeles.
That is my thing.
Nina, well, thank you so much for sharing your heart, for sharing your success with us, and sharing your story, how you get to the place where you are now. And it's never an easy path, and it never becomes easy, because this is what life is about. But, the way you shine through, the way you handle things is very inspirational. And I'm sure it's very inspiring to others. And continue doing what you're doing, continue creating. And now you have this amazing fashion line as well. And I'm wishing you just all the very best for the future, because, we need more people like you who have a very good moral character and believe in themselves and are resilient and stay authentic to who they are.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And, sometimes authenticity can get you into trouble, because
Yes, it does.
You're telling the truth a lot, but, it's worth it in the end. So I truly appreciate your words. And I've loved talking to you about this, and love talking to you about my second love outside of entertainment, which is LA.
Oh, thank you, Nina. It was such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Feel and Experience Universal Studios and Los Angeles with my special guest, Nina Parker. If you enjoyed my podcast In the Mood for California, please sign up for future episodes at your preferred platform and please leave your feedback. I really appreciate your time and support. You can follow me on Instagram at In the Mood for California and check out my website, www.inthemoodforcalifornia.com. Selling and buying homes with soul is not just my real estate strategy. It is an intuitive and holistic approach that embraces your values, aspirations, and conscious intentions. If you want to discover the power of mindfulness in your real estate journey with my compassionate guidance, I'm here for you. Next time, we're going on a journey to the former estate of Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher. Looking forward to seeing you there.
In the Mood for California. Feel the soul of Old Hollywood.